shit out of them too.
You know, Reno.
Who do
I
you
think
have in
might
the
be
Super
due for some
Bowl?
R&R.
Or what are your Super Bowl predictions, Gamer Curse?
Nah, I'm good.
What are we going to do about Sector 7?
We are going to do nothing.
Been thinking. Was all that necessary?
Yes.
Had we refused, someone else would have completed the task. We have spared that someone the burden of a guilty conscience. Perhaps that will ease yours.
I watched the highlights of Kentucky putting up 73 points on.
No.
Well, thank you for the trailer here, Jeff. Thank you.
They were a sacrifice to balance the scales.
I forgot you sent me that
Say
picture
what?
too.
After
And my
everything
text,
we'd
I just
taken
open
from
it
the
up
planet,
again.
We were due to give something back.
Do you actually believe that?
Does it matter?
I do love the Turks.
Yes. Understood.
It's Axel.
The VP needs us.
It's Axel. Chapter 17. Deliverance from Chaos. Have bills from AFC and a sees a big clusterfuck everyone
Oh,
has.
thank goodness. You're awake. You okay?
Yeah.
Listen, I was underneath the impression, and this is I'm still underneath the impression that the
Where I
Steelers can make the
When
Super
I
Bowl
was
this
still a
year.
child.
I don't know how, but I think they can. They're going to be a wild card because I'm pretty sure either Cleveland or the Ravens are going to win the division, and I want it to be the Ravens. Like I want it to be the Ravens. Also, I have a story to tell here. Hang on, I gotta mute this real quick. I have a story to. I have a story to tell. I need to mute this in my ear too. Hey, that the Browns are winning games here. Hang on, I'm gonna mute this in my ear real quick so I can tell the story straight. So I feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world right now as a Dolphins fan. Again, I want to preference this as this. I want to preference it at this. I'm not a Tua hater. I'm a Dolphins hater. When your team has been irrelevant for the last 22 years of your life, and I mean that, when your team has been irrelevant for the last 22 years of your life, it's hard for you to root for a team that just puts out mediocrity year after year after year after year. Hey, you had a chance to sign Drew Brees. You had a chance to sign Drew Brees and have a stable quarterback, but you said, "Hey, you know what? His shoulder's fucked. Let's not deal with that here." So guess who we signed? We signed Dante Culpepper, and then it panned out. You had the whole Ryan Tannehill era, which again was completely fucking dog shit because Ryan Tannehill should have never played NFL football at quarterback position ever, 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 ever. You know, you had this quarterback, the whole Stephen Ross, Tom Brady bullshit that came out the last couple years. Us trying to get Deshaun Watson for Tua when Deshaun wanted out of Houston. You know, it's hard for you to root for a franchise like that, especially when you have a franchise like Miami, when the Miami Heat, when you have a college program like the University of Miami who has prestige and everything in the allure that goes into being the University of Miami and how, you know, the prestige of the Miami Heat, and you have first class organizations in town, and then you look at the Dolphins and you're just like, what the fuck is that dumpster fire across the way here? You're gonna regret saying those words. You're actually gonna regret saying those words that you would take fucking Tannehill over Daniel Jones. But that's beside the point. Um, so going into last week, my wife was working, kids were here. What was I doing? Okay, I had the game on. I had both games on. I had the Steeler game on, and I had the Dolphins game on. Same like the week before when I was watching two games. I had the Steeler game on mute, and I was listening. And I had, I had the audio on the Dolphins game. Um, the first quarter of that game was a little rocky. Like Miami was down 7. No, they were down 14 when started watching it. They came back and scored, and then I think the defense gave up a turnover. Gave up a turnover, and I think the Ravens scored. Like the Ravens offense was on fire. And at some point, I'm like, hey, this game should be like a 4 touchdown blowout, like 5 touchdown blowout. But then I was like looking at like yards after catch. I'm like, oh, like Tua's moving this ball. Like these guys are getting yards after the catch. So like this game is not a stretch. Like if we could just get us a good defensive stance, like we're good. Third quarter rolls around. Miami's down 21. I'm like, okay, about that time, what happened? I'm like, oh, it's time for me to, I put my daughter down for a nap. So same thing. Um, I muted that game. Excuse me. I ended up muting the Dolphins game. I didn't listen to the Steeler game, but they were both on. I'm sitting in the rocking chair over yonder here, and I have the game. I have one of the games on a full screen. So I'm like, okay, like I'm watching the Dolphins just shit the bed here. I had no intentions of like ignoring the game. I just like at that point in my mind, hey, down 3 touchdowns. I've seen this before. I've seen Miami shit the bed, wet the bed every time they're in this predicament. I have no hope in me watching this team come back. So hey, whatever, move on, do some other things, pick up whatever. Like at that point, I've emotionally have checked out of the game. So I'm laying my daughter down. I'm laying her down for a nap. We're in the rocking chair. I fell asleep. I had no intentions of falling asleep with her, but like if I'm super tired, like, and I know I'm putting down for a nap, I'll just say, hey, like, quick 10-minute, 20-minute snooze. Like that's not gonna hurt me. I wake up 40 fucking minutes later. I turn on my screen. The Steeler game is still on. They end up losing that game. I caught the back end of the Dolphins game, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Why is everyone talking like they just fucking won because they were down 3 touchdowns? And I'm like, what the fuck did I just miss? And they're showing highlights, and I'm like, there's no fucking way this team came back 21 and Tua looked like the best incarnation of Dan fucking Marino out there, and Tariq Hill and fucking Jalen Waddle are having the fucking best games of their fucking life. There's no fucking way that this stupid ass team that fucking plays at Miami Gardens literally came back from 21 points down to beat the fucking Ravens. And I texted my buddy Kyle, and I'm like, Kyle's like, you see that? I'm like, no, I fell asleep. Like, he's like, really? I'm like, no, like I literally fell asleep. Like I was under the pretense that this game was over. And this game was over. This game was over 10 times over because I've seen this before with the Dolphins. I've never, ever, ever in my life has seen this team rally back to win a game like that and win the game the way they did. I've never seen that. In 22 fucking years of being irrelevant, I've never fucking seen that. And then the one time in my fucking life where I'm just like, oh hey, I had the possibility of watching something like that happens. My dumbass is sleeping on the fucking recliner with my kid. Nothing wrong with that, excuse me. But it's like it just goes to it just goes to like say like my love and hate relationship with this fucking team. Like I want to be able to sit here and get excited and celebrate shit like this, but I fucking can't because there's always going to be something with this team that's going to be like, hey, it's going to take away from the success. It's going to take away from, hey, me wanting to invest in this team again. And it's just how it's been the last 20 years. And like Dan Levitard, I was listening to his podcast a lot during the overnights during the summer here. And he made that point too in his podcast where he's like, it's hard for me to want to invest. It's hard. it's hard for me to be like, oh hey, like that offense looks good. That offense can move. Oh hey, that offense has playmakers. Like they can actually fucking do something on offense and not just drag ass every single fucking possession when they have the fucking ball. Or hey, Tannehill may look like Dan Marino one play and then look like a fucking fourth string scrub from the fucking CFL. Like it just be like that with the Dolphins sometimes. You know, I look at teams like New England who's in our division. You look at teams like the Ravens. You look at teams like the fucking Steelers, like teams with prestige, teams with coach like great head coaches who have this great system in play where hey you often wonder hey like how the hell they're gonna fucking do it and they go out and they fucking dominate and they win fucking games. So like again for me like me picking the Ravens last week to win it wasn't because I didn't give a shit about the Dolphins. I just respect the prestige of their coach and I respect Lamar Jackson's greatness. And to a degree, yeah, he did some fucking amazing fucking things that game. Like, let's not forget that shit. Like, he had a great fucking game. That defense behind him fucking sucks. Fuck the Jets and fuck the Browns for letting the Jets win. But that's the sidebar here. And fuck Cincinnati for looking like dog shit. And y'all guys were just in the Super Bowl. Like, there's no. But, you know, the Jets shouldn't be winning games, period. The Jets shouldn't be a football franchise to begin with. The Jets or the Giants. I'm sorry, Jeff. Don't hate me for that one. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. But the Jets more than the fucking Giants. The Jets more than the Giants. But I'm a firm believer right now, just from a 3 game sample. As far as the AFC North, I still think the Steelers get in. I think the Steelers still get in. They don't win the division. I think it's for the Browns and Ravens. It's for the Browns to lose. I feel like the Ravens are a deadlock for me to win the division this year. But I still think the Steelers get it because I feel like the Browns are going to find a way to Browns. Did he win him that game last week? He did win him that game last week. After their starting quarterback got injured, right? Yeah, their starting quarterback got injured, and he ended up winning them that fucking game. Yeah. Oh, well, hey, Laura. So that's my dolphin rant
My
here.
mom and I stayed here years ago when I was just a little girl.
But wait,
The room.
to make it up, I did DVR the NFL Network broadcast of that the Ravens Dolphins game. So like it's in the backlog. So maybe I will watch. Maybe I could probably I could like officially experience the last like that fourth quarter and maybe like redeem myself. It's not gonna be the same as like watching it live, but hey, I have it on the DVR now, so it's probably something that I'll probably do next week. It's like watch it. This is be like, hey, like I did kind of catch it, so I'm trying to
Looks
redeem
exactly
myself
the
for it.
same.
I still think the Buffalo fucking beats the dog shit out of Miami. Like the absolute bricks off them.
Every morning, they'd come and take my mom away. I remember crying here alone.
Aerith, before we break out of here, talk to us. There's so much we don't know.
I'm a descendant of the ancients. That's pretty much it, really. Oh, but just so you know, that's not their actual name. They called themselves the Cetra.
We who were born of the planet, with her we speak, her flesh we shape. Unto her promised land shall we one day return.
Again,
By her loving grace and providence, may we take our place in paradise.
I get the Bengals arrived
no.
ahead of schedule, but Jesus, you
Yeah,
guys
well,
can't start too.
Honestly, I thought that part was just a fairy tale.
You guys can't start 0-2. You guys can't
Shinra
start a
thinks
season
it's
0-2.
true.
You guys can't.
They've been searching for the promised land.
Like
for
even
a
the
long
Rams
time.
redeemed themselves last week. I
And they
mean,
must
they
think
could
you
have lost
can
that
lead them
game,
to
but
it.
like they came out and
Can
they
you?
punched whoever they played in the mouth. I mean, the game was like they blew that game out,
Nope.
but then like that team came back.
Someday,
But at least the
maybe
Rams
I'll
were
find it
trying
in
to
me.
have a statement game
But now,
to make
not
up for
even
the
if I
fact that
wanted
the
to.
Bills just punched them in their fucking mouths.
Even if you could, that land belongs to to you and your people. Shinra's after it because they believe it's rich in Mako. Mako they've got no right to claim. But they'll try to take it anyway, won't they? Greedy bastards will never stop. Okay, new plan. Y'all take Aerith and get the hell out of here. Me, I'm gonna go bust some Shinra heads.
Barrett, wait. You can't do that.
Okay, we go again.
Oh, great. These assholes again. Probably some Shinra science experiment.
Whispers,
There you go, whispers.
perhaps best described as arbiters of fate. They are drawn to those who attempt to alter destiny's course and ensure they do not.
Like capital D? Destiny?
The flow of the great river that is the planet, from inception to oblivion.
And you're saying that that flow is somehow fixed?
Yes, for it is the will of the planet itself.
So if we're destined for a bleak future, these whispers will try to keep us on that course? Now wait just a damn minute. How in the hell can you possibly know any of that? Spouting that cryptic stuff, which could all be bullshit.
Fourth wall
I
breaking.
mean, ain't you a Shinra lab rat or dog?
I'm not a rat dog. When Aerith reached out to me, I found this knowledge of the Whispers.
Listen to me. Please.
Aerith,
The Shinra Electric Power Company isn't the real enemy.
Both teams follow R2. No, that works for me. We're not. Listen, I didn't mean to shit on the Giants, but again, like, you guys get Daniel Jones. It's fucking quarterback. Fuck the Jets. I follow both teams. Okay. Wait, the Bills? Wait, a significant other a Bills fan? That'd be interesting if she is. Wait, the Lions? You're gonna have to peel that back here just a little bit, Gamer Kurtz, because I think the Lions are gonna be third. They're not getting second in that division. They're not. I'm excited to see what Minnesota does, even after what they did. I mean, they lost week 2, but to see what they to do what they did to fucking Rodgers week 1, that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. Like, remember, you guys have to play them again.
It's
And
starting
everyone
with them,
knows that
sure,
everyone's
but
gonna
I
roll
promise
through the
you,
Bears.
There's a much bigger threat.
At least
I
Rodgers is gonna
just
roll
want
through
to
the
do
Bears.
everything in my power to help. All of you. And the planet.
Aerith, what are you not telling us?
I'm lost in a maze, and every step is taking me further from the path. Every time the whispers touch me, I lose something, a part of myself. Follow them, the yellow flowers.
It's okay. We'll find a way out together.
Okay.
But this